Dun, 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 dun. Why is it? Here we go. Hey, we're live.
We is
Okay.
live
Is it
again.
live on the YouTubes? Is it live on the Twitch? No. Yep, there we go. We're live on the Twitch.
Why are you speaking like Dr. Scratch and Sniff?
I don't. Why are you talking like the Dr. Scratch and Sniff? It's the monkeys. Oh,
What are you kids?
Totally random thing. When I was taking the kids to their open house on Monday before school started on Tuesday to meet their teacher and stuff like that, I was like, okay, we met the teachers. Let's go look around, see if they changed anything around. The gym was the same, but as we walked in the gym, blaring over the gym loudspeakers was the Imperial March. I was like, I think this is awesome. It's kind of foreboding. It's like, hey, the day before school, and we're playing the Imperial March, but.
And I bet you regretted not wearing your cape.
I did. I really wish I strode across the gym right in step to it, though. But hey, welcome to the Geek EZ. Sorry we missed last week, but we're back this week, so hey. And I don't know who our watcher on YouTube is. They never comment. They never say anything, but hi on YouTube. We always have this one watcher. They drop off every once in a while, but they're there. Whoever you are, hi.
Welcome.
Let's run that thing here on the thing. Yeah, we get a lot more views on Twitch. Let's run this here, right here, opener thingy, and we'll be right back.
Don't you open your thingy.
The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. The opinions expressed do not reflect this station or any affiliated partners. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geek EZ.
Showed that animation to my kids the other day. They had never seen it. And they're like, hey, that's the Thundercats. And then they're like, oh my God, Dad, that's you. I was like, yeah, who did this? I was like, I did. They're like, you know how to make cartoons? I was like, what do you think I've been doing for the past year and a half?
Being dad.
Being dead, yeah.
Because that's all you can ever be.
Anybody know any good printing places that doesn't just do inkjet?
I do not.
What are you printing?
I need to print out two of my latest commissions. They would like prints. He wants 2 prints of it made up, and I was like, okay, I can go to Staples and just get large format inkjets, but they're gonna look like a large format inkjet. I was trying to find a printer that does short run or small run like offset printing. Nobody around here does it.
We can reach out to Greg. Actually, he gets things printed off on pretty decent paper, and they look good. So he'd know.
Okay.
Have you looked online?
Yeah, I've looked online, and again, it's like runs of anything under 10 to 15 get really expensive really fast. And he only wants 2, so I was like, well, I guess I'm going the inkjet way. I mean, there's a printing place right here in town that does stuff that they do offset, but I was just like, I only need 2. He's like, oh, then we'll just run those on the inkjet. I was like, oh man, inkjet's good and all with the new archival inks and all that kind of stuff, but they still just don't look the same. If you know what I mean. Because he wants the poster set. Did I not what?
No, I said I do not. You said, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes. Oh, well. Oh, but yeah, another day, another Wednesday. Not much else has happened aside from the Star Wars stuff, really. Aside from Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth not wanting to come back to Star Trek because money disputes.
Yeah, it's not that they don't want to come back, it's that Paramount doesn't want to...
Yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
But in Pine's case, it's they don't want to pay him what they promised to pay him. And in Hemsworth's case, it's they don't want to pay him what he feels he's worth.
Either way, it's like, hey. I will say that has generated some seriously disturbing memes not involving those two. To which I then my brain just went down the horrible rabbit hole that ensued. It was bad. They were involving Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, you and Gabe were.
It was me and Sean actually. But yeah, the one in question was it is a horrible meme, and I'm not going to repeat it on the air. I will say just go look for the Anton Yelchin Paramount Star Trek meme that's floating around out there, and oh, it's bad, so bad.
Not all memes are good memes.
Well, it's not that; it's just the humor in it. I mean, you laugh. It's funny, but it's funny in a way that you know you're not supposed to laugh. It's one of the. It's kind of like laughing at a dead baby joke.
What's killing me is all these Star Trek fans on Facebook that are like, "Oh, this is their chance to bring Shatner in as Kirk's father."
Kirk, great grandfather, maybe.
No,
it
I thought Shatner would like that.
I've come back from the future to tell you that. What are you doing? It's me, Kirk. Either way, I mean, I honestly didn't think Star Trek 4 was going to happen. There was a lot of talk, but nothing seemed to ever come about aside from just people saying this and rumors. And then this popped up, and I was like, yeah, Star Trek 4 will never be made, especially now that Star Trek is coming back to to television in full force.
Well, it may still happen. It's just that right now Paramount's being very stingy. I think they're going to cave. If they really, really want it, they're going to cave.
I think they'll just move on to the Tarantino track.
I'll just point this out here to CBS, not Paramount. Carl Urban is totally cool in Star Trek, and also really, really cool with being in TV shows. So a television show about Dr. McCoy would totally be okay.
Speaking of that, what do we think about the new Spock?
Neither for nor against it. Don't really bother me.
He's Nimoy approved.
Yes.
I'm back.
I'm forward.
Was that the Batman?
You're goddamn right.
Badger, don't even.
I'm the goddamn Batman.
The I don't know. The actor, what's his name? Ethan Peck? Is that his name?
He's Gregory Peck's grandson, I think.
Yes. I don't know what to do. I can't see Gregory Peck now without thinking of Family Guy. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if they're playing loud, yelly Spock, I think it's all good.
Loud, yelly Spock?
Yeah, from the cage. When Spock was screaming across the bridge every order that he was giving.
I really hope we don't get much of Spock. I don't want this to become,
Phase 2?
Discovery is its own thing. I mean, I don't. It exists in the same universe, of course, as TOS and everything else, and of course, those characters are there for people to interact with. But I don't want those characters taking over the show.
I agree.
True. Spock will just be like peeking around corners every once in a while.
Like,
Here I am.
I don't mind extended exposure to Pike because Pike, we only saw full-fledged, once, and then, in the wheelchair the other time.
Yeah. What if they'll make a joke about that somewhere in the series? Or they'll they trap somewhere and he has to either knock out once for yes or twice for no.
I can see them doing it.
I see them more likely making a joke about his attraction to green women.
Yeah. Either way, that's how he rolls.
I got a response from Greg, by the way.
Oh.
He says he actually buys the paper from Amazon, then he gets a local printer to print it out for him.
Oh, okay.
So what he's suggesting is buy 80-pound cover stock on Amazon, 11 by 17, and it's about $37 for 250 sheets.
Hmm.
So
Problem
he'd
is
be
he
set.
wants 24 by 36s. I'm sure I could find them.
Well, they might make it bigger.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
Of course you know.
He says the local printer does it for
Also
89
true.
cents a piece.
Hmm.
So how large was it again?
24
what?
by 36. Full 4-color CMYK. All that kind of good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could probably find somebody to do it for about $1 a piece down here. $2 a piece, maybe. I was just hoping to steer clear of just doing inkjets, but I don't think I'm going to get around it.
You
But
need
that's neither here nor
to.
there.
You might want to have to search not by 24 by 36. You might want to search by the paper type, which is ArchD.
Yes.
Sounds like somebody worked in a print shop for a little bit. Wait, what? Huh? No. But more than likely, you can find some pretty solid stuff. I know the print shops I've dealt with, and the one that I worked at, or that was part of the store that I worked at that I had to work in. The paper is actually on these big, massive rolls.
Yep.
He's
I've
saying
done print work too, dude.
Unfortunately, they're all inkjet now.
Yeah.
He's also saying you have to go through a custom printer at that size.
Yeah. Either way. It's just boring for people listening. That's in-house stuff, but
Apparently, Danny Boyle is out as the director of the next Bond movie.
oh, did anybody know what happened? Did anybody read that?
Nope.
Supposedly, it's just creative differences, is all they've said.
We want the camera to stand still, Danny. I can't do that. It has to stand still. You have to stay longer than 2 seconds on a cut. No, I can't do that.
The actual statement from the official James Bond Twitter account is Michael G. Wilson, Barbara Broccoli, and Daniel Craig today announced that due to creative differences, Danny Boyle has decided to no longer direct Bond 25. I just find it weird that Daniel Craig is part of the statement.
It's probably because he wanted to do the entire movie in a Bigfoot outfit.
Or a stormtrooper helmet.
I wouldn't be against that. Let the record stand. I'd be okay with that.
Oh, I know because we missed last week. We didn't do last week's show. Rumblings before that was there's the whole Idris Elba as James Bond thing, and the rumors and the ridiculousness that people have. Now, I'm all for Idris Elba as James Bond. I was all for him. I'm actually all for either Idris Elba, Ewan McGregor, Tom Hiddleston, or who was the other one that was that was a name that was getting thrown around. I wouldn't even mind seeing like Gerard Butler in that role. But Idris Elba, because he's black, people were losing their minds. It's like Ian Fleming actually describes him and says what he looks like and gives his height and his weight and who he looks like and his hair color. And I was like, okay, and I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with James Bond, that character of all characters. It's like it's not blackwashing, it's not whitewashing.
How
it's
does
just
the Broccoli estate feel?
I don't know.
Well, part of the reason that people are upset or what they're going to hide behind, and I disagree, I want Idris Elba as Bond, is in their mind it'll break the headcanon that all the Bonds are the same person.
Oh,
we
who
know
cares?
that's not the case just from the movies themselves.
Well, we know it's not the case for Daniel Craig's Bond, but all the previous Bonds, we don't know that that's the case because of the scene in what was Brosnan's last movie where he's down in the old train station. He finds all the stuff from his old adventures that date back through all the movies.
True.
And he makes mention of the watch, and he's like, what's this, 21? 22, I believe. So, I don't know. I mean, but I don't understand people's big uproarious whatnots about this kind of stuff. it's like, how come no one? Well, I guess people did complain when Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman. Aquaman has always been shown as white skinned, blonde haired, blue eyed, and Momoa
They can
is
shut the
not.
fuck right up.
Dude, you are nothing but swear.
Yeah, I apologize.
Idris Elba should just play everybody. He should even play Indiana Jones.
He should be Blade.
And he should be Han Solo, everybody.
Indiana Jones. And Idris Elba is Indiana Jones.
Idris Elba is Robin Hood.
He can even be Captain America for all I care.
I don't think he wants to do with Marvel anymore, though. I thought.
I don't know. I heard he was fine if they wanted to bring Heimdall back.
Well, last word we did get from him was he wasn't down for it. He's like, he was done.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Now, granted, he may have changed his mind. Who knows?
Oh, speaking of actors that are done, talk about digging through people's trash to get news. Comic Book Resources of all, or one of those, comicbook.com or comic resources, posted an article that was from like TMZ or some crap like that, that Ben Affleck was seen receiving a purchase of alcohol. Now, Ben Affleck has had alcoholism issues, actually checked himself into rehab, I think back in December or something, what it was, because of his addiction to alcohol. And that they're like, oh, it's throwing a bad light. He might not be part for Batman because of this. His alcoholism might keep him. It's like, just talk about how did they know he received a delivery of alcohol? Who was posted outside of Ben Affleck's house to watch UPS show up?
Also, how would they know it was alcohol?
Yeah. It's like, this kind of crap. Now, I mean, honestly, I would love to see Ben Affleck come back as Batman and do a Batman movie where he's not the Justice League Batman, where he's not the Batman trying to hold the Justice League together or whatever it is. I want to see a Batman movie. I want to see a damaged dude whose mind isn't all there going out and beating the snot out of clowns. Seriously, think about, I mean, that's what he does. He's a deranged man who runs around in a Halloween costume beating people up.
And doing strange dances named the Batusi.
Yes. Well, back then he was an actual deputized law enforcement. Because you can't have vigilantes on 1960s television.
Firefly is like, and since when is TMZ credible?
They're not. But I don't know who they were citing. I just want to know, I mean, what paparazzi piece of filth? Because that's honestly, in my eyes, that's what paparazzi is. But I mean, he was like, oh, did you see that box? It was full of wine. How do you know it wasn't a gift or they weren't throwing a party for people? Yeah, he needs his own movie. And speaking of Jason Momoa, I am really looking forward to Aquaman. If they get Aquaman right, I will have no doubt that they can pull off a Green Lantern movie. Because I've been reading the Aquaman books religiously lately, and they are getting really good. And I'm loving the fact that they are slowly, throughout the books, kind of altering Aquaman's look to look more like the movie version. I would not doubt within the next 6 months if his hair darkens. And they start giving him dreads or something in the book. Yeah! Got real quiet. Why did everybody go quiet?
You were talking?
I was thinking about Jason Momoa.
He's just so dreamy.
Actually, since you brought up Green Lantern, I know I linked it in the Geek EZ chat the other day. Anybody else, other than me and Tank and the Robot Lord who is not here, get a chance to watch the Deadpool 2 honest trailer.
Yes, I watched it.
That would be the second time that Ryan Reynolds has done an honest trailer.
I love how it was hijacked and became an honest trailer.
Yes.
There's an interesting question. Why isn't Carl Urban playing Hal Jordan?
I'm trying to picture that. Yeah, maybe. He's better than Tom Cruise. Oy. I don't want a Green Lantern that has to run everywhere.
I'm back. What about Green Lantern?
What about the Green Lantern? Well, the Tom Cruise rumors. No, what they need to do is they need to get, like, I don't know. Well, Nathan Fillion's just gotten too old to play the role. Tom Cruise is too old to play the role.
Hold on. He's not too old to play a new Green Lantern. He's just old enough to play maybe an older Hal Jordan, where he's passing off the torch to someone else. They could do Green Lantern Corps like that, where he's ready to pass on the torch to, say Kyle Rayner, or say it's the Emerald Knight storyline, something like that. That would be kind of cool. Come on.
Yeah, but
go ahead, Adam.
As much as I really enjoy Fillion, I don't know.
Fillion would have to hit the gym pretty hard.
He would, but I mean, he's going to be in a new show called Rookie, and I'm excited for that. I want to see that.
Somebody I know as I served with once, Jensen Eccles, as Green Lantern, or however you say his last name.
Oh, I mean, we're still a few years away from a Green Lantern movie. They're going to see how Aquaman performs, Wonder Woman 84 performs, and I would garner, like, I would say, if Aquaman does well, Shazam is going to do well.
Using thought. If it's Wonder Woman 84, so I'm assuming it's set in 1984, right?
Yes.
Wonder if they're going to give her the big floofy hair and shoulder pads.
Not from the images I've seen.
Please, as a joke, please do it. Make a reference to it.
Bad 80s fashion decisions.
Like fanny packs.
Hans Zimmer is going to score Wonder Woman 84.
You leave my fanny packs out of this.
Great, so it's just going to be one long hum. He's a great composer. Obviously, he knows more about music than I do. But for the past, I would say, close to 8-9 years, everything he's ever done just kind of sounds like a drone. It's this noise.
That's all he hears because of his hearing aids.
Oh, dear Lord. It's just this low background rumble. It's not even music. There's no themes. There's no cues. There's nothing. As much as we knock on Danny Elfman, his music has cues. You knew Batman was showing up when you hear dun 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 dun, that kind of stuff. It's like John Williams has cues. He writes music for the characters. The characters have themes. And Zimmer does not write themes. Wonder Woman's theme was not Hans Zimmer. Someone else wrote that. And it's a badass theme. What is it? John Williams is so into his themes and finishing things that there's a reason why he's not really doing a lot of music scores right now. He is coming back to finish episode 9 of Star Wars, so that will be his opus, because he will have done all of the films, all the major Star Wars films. And for Solo, he actually came back and wrote the theme for Han Solo, because he's the only character he never wrote a theme for.
Oh, I did not know that.
And it's funny because the theme itself is geared more towards the new Han Solo, the younger Han Solo, where I could not see that music playing, the theme playing with Harrison Ford's. But he actually went back, and I guess he did a composition using Leia's theme and some of Han Solo's theme, and called it The Princess and the Scoundrel, that has been performed live here and there, and there's videos of it up on YouTube. It's a really, really great piece of music. But hey, if Hans Zimmer wants to come back, even though he said he was never going to do comic book movies again,
Suddenly, money. I'm gonna do this comic book movie.
Speaking of Star Wars, I am not a big fan of the look of Resistance.
We were just talking
so
about that.
you're resistant to the Resistance.
Hmm.
You're a resistor. See, I'm right there with you though. It's such a drastic because I mean, Rebels was a change from what Clone Wars looked like, and even Clone Wars was so stylized. It took a while for me to warm up to it.
But
Rebels was the same way.
Rebels, you can see the connection between Rebels and Clone Wars.
You can also see the connection between Resistance and Rebels.
You can.
But
There are connections.
I'm just not a big fan of that kind of cell shaded style. I never really have been.
And I can understand that. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things that's actually actively kept me from watching like Knights of Sidonia and stuff like that. Also because Knights of Sidonia's story I felt was a little weak. But
Go ahead.
Speaking from extreme experience at this point, we've gotten a trailer. And it doesn't mean jack shit. Because what was Alistair's reaction to the very first few trailers of Rebels?
Meh.
This show is going to be so incredibly stupid. We don't need it. It's horrible. What was Alistair's reaction to the series finale of Rebels?
Cried.
Why is this over?
Now, if they do that right from the get-go with Resistance, where because Rebels took a while to grow up. Well, Clone Wars did too. Clone Wars took about, I don't know, 3 episodes to get to the point where, like, holy crap, this is a war show. And it wasn't geared towards it was geared for all Star Wars fans. Where it was like, okay, I mean, there was actual deaths in the show. That was part of the show. It was the emotional side of the show was when friends were lost and when things were lost. Rebels took a while to warm up to that. Rebels took a while to warm up and gear up towards more of grown-up stories, even though there were some blatant, right-in-your-face kind of like cold-blooded murders in Rebels right from the get-go that made me kind of go, whoa.
Well, Chopper's body count in that show is insane.
Yeah, Chopper's body count is insane, but just right in the beginning, I mean, it's kind of... I realize the Stormtroopers are faceless enemies because they all look exactly the same, but I mean, when you got Zeb almost point-blank shooting a Stormtrooper in the face in the first episode, I was like, whoa! In the face. It wasn't even like he took a body shot. He shot him right in the face. And then, let's see, Kanan threw a grenade to a dude. I was like, huh.
My other thing with Resistance, with the animation style, is I could probably handle the cell-shaded style, but it just seems like when it transitions to the ships and stuff, it seems like it's just such a jarring shift in style from the way the characters are done to the way the ships are done.
Again, someone else is designing this and doing it. It's not being done in-house, which is why Clone Wars is coming out, because they're doing that in-house. I wonder how they're going to do Clone Wars. Is that going to be a Disney XD thing? Because from what I'm gathering, Resistance is going to be on the Disney Channel.
More than likely, the premiere will be on Disney Channel. Because a lot of people just get Disney Channel with their cable thing. And then they'll be like, if to continue watching, you have to get Disney XD. Contact your cable provider today.
Well, when Rebels came out, they put that out up front, that the premiere would be on Disney Channel and the rest of the series would be on XD, whereas Resistance just says Disney Channel.
Oh, it'll probably come out later.
Probably. Am I going to watch it? Of course I'm going to watch it. My only thing is, it's too close to The Force Awakens. It's only supposed to be 9 to 6 months before The Force Awakens, so it's going to tie very heavily into The Force Awakens.
Well, how did Rebels end? Literally right before Rogue One, really.
Actually, no, Rebels, well,
Well,
Yes.
technically, Rebels officially ended right after Endor.
Yes. Before Jakku. Or did it happen after Jakku?
I don't know. I'm so confused now.
I'm pretty sure it's after Jakku.
Jakub.
Jakku. Aktu.
Nikto.
My fingers are so crossed. My fingers are so very crossed that J.J. Abrams can come out with like some epic film to just kind of end this all. Bring it out. Get the crescendo up real high, just, and then just kind of like, dun, 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 dun. Maybe just kill everybody at the end. Dun, dun,
I can see Peter
dun,
Griffin
dun,
singing
dun.
that.
What if JJ pulls the wool over all our eyes and abandons the storyline from the last two movies to wrap up Ezra's story?
Well, it's already been confirmed that Thrawn will not be in. Which I was like, why would they bring Thrawn into the last one? That's ridiculous.
Besides, the latest book that came out wraps up that stuff, from what I'm told.
Oh, it does it?
I don't know. I read the whole book.
I don't know. What I was told is that it takes place after the end of Rebels.
Okay, now I need to go read it.
I don't have it, so I can't confirm it.
No, it does not take place after Rebels. It takes place during Rebels. It takes place during the Clone Wars and during Rebels. Both. It takes place during both series.
Why is Vader on the front?
Because, like I said, it takes place between Rebels, or during Rebels Season 3, and it takes place in, I would say, Clone Wars somewhere around Season 3 as well, 3 or 4.
Yeah,
because it is a time story. There is Thrawn during the Clone Wars and Thrawn during the Galactic Civil War.
Yeah, that's why the special cover that you got, I think, at Comic-Con
Yes.
had Anakin and a younger Thrawn.
Yes. And you see the relationship with Anakin Skywalker and Thrawn, as well as Darth Vader and Thrawn.
There ain't no relationship there.
Oh, there is.
It's all hatred.
No, he didn't hate Thrawn. If he hated anybody, he hated, like, Tarkin.
I'll let you read the book.
Of course, it's Darth Vader. He kind of hates everybody, but if he hates anybody, he does not care for Tarkin.
Obi-Wan killed his love.
He can respect Tarkin, though. I mean, and that they cover that pretty thoroughly in the comics. I don't know if you had read that one where he actually hired, as it were, Tarkin to hunt him. And Tarkin actually was winning and technically did win. And then Vader force choked him anyway. Even though his body had been electrified.
Such a Vader thing to do.
I will finish what you started.
God damn it, it's not touching the bottom. Sorry.
I wonder if we'll ever find out about Snoke.
Yeah, he's dead. Who cares?
They already did him justice. They got rid of him.
Well, I'm going to guess that he's going to play a part somewhere along the lines during Resistance. And somewhere in there, if it really is taking place that close to The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren's going to have to show up somewhere. I think it was also confirmed that Princess Leia or General Leia will be in the series. And that was a gold stormtrooper. It is not Phasma.
Because, we got chrome, we need gold. Soon there'll be aluminum.
They're taking the Cylon route.
Emerald. Diamond. Wait, this Minecraft.
Name them after Pokemon game colors. Crystal. Heart
Crystal
Gold.
Stormtrooper. It's not like
Heart
they're
Gold
not.
Stormtrooper.
Game mechanics. Let's talk game mechanics right now.
They're so underpaid. They really need to give those mechanics some extra benefits.
Oh, we're talking Star Wars right now. As you know,
We're talking internal
yes,
mechanics of the
internal
game.
mechanics.
I
Yes,
thought we were talking about the people who
I
actually
have
do mechanic
become
work.
fairly obsessed. Yeah, I've become obsessed with Battlefront 2. I play that game. It is a very nice wind down at the end of the day. And Alistair can attest that he'll see me pop up, and I'm playing Battlefront 2 a lot at night.
Maybe.
Sometimes. I don't know. Am I still showing up every once in a while?
I actually haven't been launching Origin as much because I was only doing it for the month that I had Origin access and was playing.
In the Star Wars movies and television shows, when you get shot with a laser bolt or a blaster bolt, you go down after one hit.
Plot.
Now, I understand in games that if you a one hit kill is ridiculous because you would be spawning constantly, but the ridiculousness of being able to take 20 to 30 shots and still live. It's like, doom, doom, doom. Oh, and if I just move to the left a little bit, I'm not hit anymore, and I'm going to be able to regenerate my power and come back and do it some more. And I was reading some of the forum stuff because I was trying to figure out because I have been playing. There's been a few people I have wondered about aimbotting just because of the way they snap from person to person. Just watching the snaps, and some of them are blatant. Some of these guys really know how to use. If they're gonna cheat, they don't know how to cheat well. And I really wish there was a spectator mode, but you get it as long as you don't click the whole skip thing to go respawn, you get to sit there and watch the guy that just shot you what he's doing. And I've watched a couple where it's like I get hit, and I'm like 2 hits and I'm done. I'm like, okay, you got a damage hack because there's no way one hit from that gun should take me down that many points, and 2 hits should definitely not kill me. I should be able to at least take 4 from that, and especially if I'm in a roll, blah blah blah, whatever. So okay, and I watched this one dude snap, boom, 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 to 3 players, and I'm like, there is no way that you could aim, snap, and insta kill the way you were doing. And of course, people were calling him out for aimbotting, and he left the game because people were just like, dude, even his own teammates were telling him just leave. But I really think that they should have it to where, like, if you got Chewbacca's blaster, you got the bowcaster, one hit should not like take you down, but should blow you back across the room.
Well, it is a bowcaster.
Yes.
Unless you're Kylo Ren.
Yes, then you just stand there and take it.
Yeah, but it wasn't a direct hit. It was a solid hit, but not direct.
Solid enough to open them up.
Well, it was a graze.
It's a flesh wound. He got better.
Carrie
No.
Fisher back on screen. They better send her off in a really good way.
She retires.
Either that or they'll find a way to keep her alive throughout the whole thing. Which I think would be even better.
Well, it could be that she goes on her own mission and just gets lost in space, never to be seen again. And that's how they do the flashbacks.
Could be. Speaking of Lost in Space, well, just space in general, we really didn't talk about the Picard show.
We don't really know much about it yet.
There's no details.
No, there's nothing. Kind of hoping they set it sometime when there's a new Enterprise. Seeing as it is CBS.
It's going to be
Well,
tied.
from what we do know, it probably takes place before that particular Enterprise gets commissioned.
Make it so.
Think about this. If Discovery is still part of Prime Timeline, is going to be partnering with Star Trek Online, and this Picard show is still going to be Prime Timeline, and takes place around the same time as current day Star Trek Online, we might be able to see the Odyssey. The Odyssey. I would.
I think I might have to start putting some feelers out to some of the CBS people and say, "Hey, do you need more concept artists?"
Be like, take my soul.
It's like I happen to already have this design in mind. You
I
may have
know
seen
this
it
guy
before.
named Gabe Kohner.
You might like it.
I mean, a bunch of people did, including CBS and a game company.
I even got a bunch of 3D models.
They're just
Hand in
screwing
your
with us.
portfolio.
This is actually an anthology series, and it's just introduced every week by Picard as an instructor at the academy, telling the story of different crews from the Federation's history.
That would actually be kind of a cool concept.
It's going to be Picard laying on a bed in a hospital somewhere with neurotic syndrome, and he's daydreaming that he runs around in a wheelchair and has a whole bunch of teenagers with superpowers.
And yells about Taco Bell.
Or
Taco
he
Bell, get your
or,
chalupa.
or he and Q have finally gotten married and consummated their relationship.
I believe that too. Didn't you know, Picard? We're married.
Oh my. So much dead air. I'm still trying to I'm wiping that trying to wipe that image from my mind, and it's not going away fast enough.
I have made a mistake.
Pray that you don't make another one.
Alistair,
Hey, Patrick.
you should take a look at what I'm doing in Warframe.
I get a little after the show.
Fine.
Well, you guys are not burrito. Stop whispering.
Yes.
You're not burrito. You're not hunting.
Don't say his name one more time. He's liable to appear.
Exactly.
Tate. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work on Tade.
But it does happen to have a history of working on certain Mexican product named people.
Actually, sir, a burrito is American.
Yes.
See, now I didn't say it the third time. So if he shows up, it on you.
What, you gotta say burrito? Man, if he actually just popped in, I would have lost it.
Nobody contacted
Burrito
him.
Mobile.
He's over on the other server right now.
Well,
But yes, the burrito is an American invention.
it is a delicious invention.
Yes, it is. But I mean, it's just a tortilla filled with meat, cheese, and vegetables.
Firefly, attention Kmart shoppers. There's a red light special on aisle 6. If you'll just look over here.
Is it me, or do the ships from Resistance just don't look like they fit in the Star Wars universe?
Thank you.
I think they're supposed to be racing ships.
The exact opposite, really.
Really?
Because one looks like something from the Old Republic, and the other looks like something from the old EU. So, exactly like Star Wars ships.
There's a lot of Star Wars ships.
Starfighters.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars ships that you actually have never really seen before that are in the Old Republic.
True.
Oh, Adam, there's breaking Ohio news.
Uh-oh.
Urban Meyer has been suspended for 3 games.
Dun, dun, dun. Guess what? My world still keeps turning. You know, I think that's been my biggest beef about the sequel trilogy is some of the design choices. I like the stormtroopers. I like the iPod stormtroopers. I don't know why, but I really do enjoy that look. I think it's a cool look. The iTrooper, yeah. But like the blaster that Finn carries around, and the blaster. Well, I guess the blaster that Han gave to Rey is not so bad. But like those big clunky looking blasters just don't. It's almost like a step backwards because even though the original trilogy blasters were just real guns taken and modified.
Yeah, they
to a
were Bren
point.
guns.
But
Bren guns and German assault MP44s, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and the 44 is a Mauser, isn't it?
No.
What?
The 44 is basically the first original assault rifle. It is the precursor to all that have come after it.
He's talking about the DL-44.
DL-44, not the
yes,
yeah,
is a Mauser.
It's a Mauser, and the E-33 is the submachine gun rifle thing. That's all right.
No, I'm talking about the Rebel rifles.
The ones from like Empire and stuff. Or are you talking about the ones, the new sequel one?
No, I'm talking about an Empire.
Oh, okay.
We're on the Hoth, and you see them all line up in the trenches. Those are German assault rifles been modified.
Oh yeah. And they just had a more of a real feel to them because they were just modified real weapons. Whereas like the some of the stuff from the sequel trilogy, whether it's the Resistance drab, horrible uniforms, and I mean they really are. I mean it's like they took. I will say backwards.
Poe's rifle didn't. The way he swung it around, it didn't seem to have any weight to it.
Because it didn't.
But when Han had Chewbacca's bowcaster, you could tell it had weight to it.
Because it did.
Oh, they probably pulled that one. I was going to say they probably pulled that one out of storage.
Well, what I'm saying is Poe's the blaster rifle Poe had was pretty big.
Blaster
that should have been blaster rifle. It was pretty big. It should have had weight to it, and it looked like it felt like a toy.
What was it? I saw somebody complaining that the blaster rifles fired blue bolts in the sequel trilogy. I was like, did you not watch the prequels? All of the weapons carried by the clones fired blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you knew who was shooting at who.
And then it wasn't a necessity anymore because they're kind of an ionized bolt, which works great against. It does work against living beings, but it works really good against droids.
Yes. So many people, so much hate. Star Wars is ruined. You ruined my. I mean, I don't. It's like, wow, really? It's still going on. I mean, people still complaining. Stop watching.
No, but that's not what people want to do. They want to bitch, moan, and complain, and then get sympathy for it.
Reach behind the back of your head and flip that switch from grumpy old man to kid again.
Yes. Stop looking it through the eyes of a 45-year-old, 50-year-old
Stop analyzing it.
It doesn't look like my Star Wars. It doesn't feel like my Star Wars. She's a Mary Sue. Really? Like Luke Skywalker wasn't. He at least went through training for 3 days. Not even 3 days. Luke was probably on Dagobah, according to what happened with Han Solo and Leia, for less than 2 days. He had a lot of training. And then all of a sudden he was a Jedi just because.
Well, again, we don't know how many days pass actually on Dagobah. How quick is its day-night cycle?
True.
There's been a few comics that kind of suggest that it was longer than 3 days. Though in the case of The Last Jedi, I think all we saw was 3 days.
That was where they think they made the mistake. They made the mistake of starting the film with the attack on the Resistance. It should have started with Rey and Luke, so they could have established that she had been there already.
I mean, you've heard the ultimate end all be all argument about powerful female characters being Mary Sue's, right?
No.
So it's from I can't remember if it's actually from a speech or this post I read once, but if I found it as a post just now. So there's this girl. She's tragically orphaned and richer than anyone on the planet. Every guy she meets falls in love with her, but in between torrid romances, she rejects them all because she's dedicated to what is good and pure. She has a genius-level intellect, Olympic athletic ability, incredible good looks. She's consumed by terrible angst. This only makes guys want her more. She has no superhuman abilities, yet she is more competent than her superhuman friends, and defeats superhumans with ease. She has unshakable loyal friends and allies, despite the fact that she treats them pretty badly. They fear and respect her, and defer to her orders. Everyone is obsessed with her, even her enemies are attracted to her. She can plan ahead for anything, and she's generally right with any conclusion she makes, and people who defy her are inevitably wrong. It's very Mary Sue, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's Batman.
I think some people need to. I don't think some people know what Mary Sue means.
They don't.
No, but he just described Batman to a T.
I just described Batman.
I know.
And it's true. He is a very Gary Stu.
Gary Stu.
I mean, think about it. He's beaten some of the most powerful characters in the DC universe. He's just a dude. Speaking of that, I got into an argument the other day with a 12-year-old kid whether or not Batman would beat Iron Man.
Who won?
Well, nobody really won. I was very adamant that Batman would beat Iron Man. You would just blast Batman. I was like, you have to find Batman.
Well, Death Battle did Batman versus Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who won that one?
Yeah, Black Panther.
Yep.
And actually, their reasoning made sense. Given time,
Yeah.
Batman probably would have won, but he didn't have time.
No, but Iron Man. I do believe that Batman would beat Iron Man.
And
I think he would beat Iron Man faster than he would beat Captain America.
I can't remember who won the Batman versus Captain America death battle.
Well, in the books, they've never actually squared off toe to toe. Well, they did square off toe to toe at least twice, and I know that it was a draw, almost a draw, where they both kind of realized, why are we fighting?
Well, the one time that I remember seeing Batman and Cap go at it was more they were testing each other, and Batman said, "It's conceivable you could beat me, but that's not really the point why we're here. This is all of a distraction." And Cap's like, "Yeah, I agree."
Yep. Whereas I'm pretty sure he could find the chink in the Iron Man armor somewhere.
Throw a bottle of Jack Daniels?
Haha.
That was cruel.
Speaking of that, have you seen the latest Justice League?
No.
I will say this right now. They have upped the ante on how much damage the human body can take and use Batman to do it. Batman's had his back broken, yes. We know that. But Batman has never walked away or been left at the end of a battle/fight with both his arms and legs twisted into...
Against who?
Twisted against Lex Luthor.
Wow.
I'm guessing Lex was in a power suit.
There was some sort of alien something or other that Batman took him on, and at the end of it, after they reappeared because they were inside Superman and Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl and Batman were inside their brains trying to keep something from happening. I have to go back and read some of the earlier books as to what was happening, but the end of the battle ended with Superman, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, and Batman all appearing again on whatever's left of their base thing there. And while everybody else seems okay, Batman is laying in a heap with his legs twisted around multiple times his arm completely twisted to the point where it's thin in one area. It was just, he's all kinds of messed up, like crumpled messed up, like a bag of dirty laundry messed up. He's just laying there.
You know what would make that moment even better? Guy Gardner shows up and like, what's wrong, Bats?
Oh,
And then just zooming on the look on Batman's face. Like, kind of like, I'm going to kill you when I get out of this.
I mean, Batman's up against Darkseid and had less damage.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta step away in a minute, but I want to go ahead and bring up something since our similar subject matter. The most recent death battle, which I don't actually disagree with. I completely 100% agree with all the research that was done in this one. I just felt it was a silly matchup.
What, Carnage?
Carnage versus Lucy from Elfenlied, which, or as I like to refer to it as Carnage, is a puppy versus a speeding train.
It wasn't exactly a fair battle.
Yeah, like they had to make it even the slightest bit of fair, they had to go with the version of Carnage that had given up his weakness to vibration, because Lucy's entire ability set is built around the fact that her invisible hand things function on vibration. So basically, if she were to fight Venom, Venom would be Badger's favorite word this week.
Yeah. I never was a big fan of Carnage.
Carnage is meh. Terrifying, yes, don't get me wrong. But frankly,
I always felt that he was too nerfed.
He is.
I mean, with the psychotic aspect of that he has, whereas Venom was never psychotic the same way. I mean, you take the psychotic aspect of the Joker and you give it a symbiote, it should be unstoppable.
You would think.
yeah, but what was it? Cletus was his name?
Yeah, Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, yep,
Cassidy wasn't quite as psychotic as the Joker. If it'd been the Joker with a symbiote, oh yeah, you just might as well write everybody off. And one could argue that the symbiote actually provided some support, straighten him out a little bit. Just so long as that it could keep on feeding off of adrenaline.
And then there's the upcoming death battle that we're doing, which I think is going to be another unfair bout, because it's Optimus Prime versus the RX-78-2 Gundam.
Gundam win.
Here's why Gundam isn't going to win. Because they're going to amalgamize every single version of Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
They are going to... There is one version of the RX-78-2. There are dozens of versions of Optimus Prime, and they're going to amalgamize all of them into the 80s version.
There's actually been several RX-872s.
No, there was only one.
There's Full Armor, there's Titan MK2.
There was only one RX-78-2. There was a bunch of different variations built off of it, but there was only one RX-78-2.
The skill set's basically the same. But you know what?
Prime has a jetpack.
If you go into the G1 stuff for Optimus, it's like this is. I mean, I was a huge Transformers nut, and I had all the Who Are They books and all that kind of stuff that Marvel did, and they used the cards that came with it. Optimus's only weakness in the G1 was his compassion,
and getting shot repeatedly.
That was Hot Rod's fault.
He was being compassionate to say, "Get out of the way."
Yes,
Hot Rod.
It was his compassion that was his it was his downfall.
But I mean, if we went with just like Gen 1 Optimus versus an RX-78-2, it'd be a pretty even fair fight. I would be able to technically call it without doing more research.
Well, we know. I mean, just from what we do know, going pure to pure, G1 Optimus has that photonic axe. He has his cannon. He can transform. He has his trailer. He has access to a jetpack that allows him to, have flight. So
Now the question
the Gundam has a gun, has a beam saber.
So,
is not
yeah,
a Gundam just a shell that a pilot flies?
the
Yes.
RX-78-2 is actually 3 different components. It's a space fighter that acts as the cockpit, and then it's the leg units and the torso unit.
But there's a pilot.
Yes, there is a pilot.
The pilot would have to be as smart as Optimus Prime.
The pilot of Amuro Ray is a new type. He's basically psychic, semi-precognitive abilities. Can technically pilot the Gundam with his brain.
And then you also have to take into account that Prime has got
Yellow Spark.
he's got the Autobot Matrix of Leadership, which at least gives him boosts to his stamina, strength, all that. He can't just open it up and be like, light my darkest hour, because it's against the Gundam. That's not really a darkest hour.
No. Now, offensive-wise, the Gundam's got standard beam cannon or beam rifle, beam saber. It's got the spike ball and chain. It's got the shield. It's got the rocket launcher.
Doesn't have machine guns in the head.
It's got machine guns in the head. 2 beam sabers.
Now, if we were to up the ante here and say Optimus Prime can freely use any form, but RX-78 can turn into any Gundam that's ever existed.
Don't
that's
forget,
just stupid.
Optimus has the Energon X.
I would have to
cover that.
say it would have to be any model built off the RX-78 frame.
Including Phoenix.
Now, here's the drawback, though, because we've got
Come on,
comics
here you
now
go.
with the G1 Prime in it. I don't know what all abilities they've since drawn into him currently. So if they are going true pure G1 and true pure RX, yeah, that's a fairly even fight. I just don't know. I think the agility that the Gundam would have in the air would be the deciding factor.
That and the fact that, if they're going to downsize them all down to the size, height, that they could be the same height, yeah, I would say I would still end up having to go with Gundam. Not just because I'm a Gundam fanboy, but because I love Transformers. Don't get me wrong. I love the shit out of Transformers, but I don't think Optimus would win.
Optimus could win. It's still close. It just depends on where the fight takes place. If it gets up in the air, Gundam's gonna win out. If it stays on the ground, it's a much closer fight. But I think his compassion, once again, could be his undoing, because if he discovers there's a human inside, he's gonna flinch.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, but I feel like knowing Death Battle, it'll come down to Optimus winning. Mostly because they're going to give Optimus more options than they would give the
You could say
RX-78?
the optimum options.
But
Wow. The
But,
Gundam's got him by 10 meters.
ooh, Gundam's big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Optimus is taken down bigger.
He's also stood up to much bigger and
Yeah.
much more deadly things. I
Yeah,
can't remember the name of
Optimus
the-
is immensely strong. He's a master of hand-to-hand combat and a bunch of other stuff.
But he's
Yeah.
also gone down many times.
if they were to give Gundam any sort of additional stuff, it would have to be like the sea armor, or
Yeah.
maybe perfect
Full
Gundam.
Full Psycho frame.
The RX-78-2 never had a psycho frame.
Oh, that's right, it didn't. It's been a long time.
Well, there's one other thing. If Prime gets himself bathed in Energon, then game over.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Or if he has
So-
the Prime Decepticon Hunter.
Well, then I never saw it. I don't know if it was actually in the Generation 1 cartoon, but there was a thing that he could transform and become a more massive Prime. I've seen the toy. I've played with it, but I couldn't tell you if that was actually ever in the cartoon.
Now, if this were like Optimus versus the RX-93, which was Amuro's last mobile suit, Optimus wouldn't stand a chance. Mostly because Amuro could attack him from every single direction.
Put him on high noon?
Because not only did it have a psycho frame, but he had fin funnels.
Yep.
Firefly's pointing out, any Gundam versus G1 Megatron whose fusion cannon has the ability to channel antimatter, Gundanium, Schmundanium, antimatter wins every time.
Yeah, but see,
Yes.
No,
If the battle was Megatron versus the Gundam, the battle would not last very long.
if it was Megatron versus Unit 2 from Stardust Memory, it's going to end in a draw. Because the pilot of Unit 2 actually would have absolutely no qualms with pointing his gun straight into Megatron's face and detonating that nuclear warhead at point-blank range.
yeah, yep, I agree with you.
In which case, Megatron would have been doing the exact same thing because he is a gladiator and he's not above taking risks.
But Prime is stronger and a better fighter than Megatron.
But they typically came out in a draw. Even if you go by the film, they both died for all intents and purposes.
Well, and here's the thing: this will be the deciding factor here. If they decide is it confirmed it's just RX-78?
They did Optimus's preview yesterday.
Okay.
And at the end of it, they said, tune in next week to get a preview of Optimus's opponent, the original Gundam.
Okay. If it's going to be Amaro Ray, like say that's the actual opponent,
Yeah.
I could see Amaro Ray's original Gundam getting destroyed and him walking over to New or High New and then just wiping Optimus's face in the dirt. But if it's going to be just original Gundam, yeah, I'm gonna end up giving it to Optimus. He's gonna pull some shenanigans and he's gonna win.
Again, it depends on what has been in the comics, because Prime will not back down if he feels it necessary. So, and I don't know what abilities he's been granted in the books of late, or if they even pull out that the toy thing where he gets a power boost from the extra trailer thing, which I honestly have no idea what the hell it was called.
Well, all he has to do is actually open the trailer up, and he's got two different forms that can fight. Because while he can stand on the trailer and use the cannons and stuff on that, it can fire on its own.
They would consider that outside help, or at least the old one would. I don't know if the new Death Battle would, because had a lot
Why?
less
It's
care
all
for that.
Optimus.
Yeah, the trailer's Optimus.
Yeah, the trailer. It's him doing it. It's him. It's not. I mean, it's not like it's autonomous. It's him.
I thought it was autonomous in general.
No.
Like it even had
Roller's
a name.
Roller, the little tiny thing, and Roller is autonomous.
And Roller doesn't have any weapons.
Yeah, Roller's just this little car-looking thing, whereas the trailer is connected to Optimus psychically.
Wirelessly.
I say wireless. I would say psychically.
Blu-ray. It's all, or not Blu-ray, Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth.
Bluetooth trailer.
Oh,
Never. That's what's gonna happen. No, I don't know. I think the Gundam, just because of its sheer height. And,
Well, here's the big question.
And the human element is going to give Optimus issues.
If he discovers it.
Here's the big question about whether that's going to answer whether Optimus is going to win or not. Did they get Peter Cullen to voice Optimus?
Dude, there's so much material out there, they probably don't need him.
But there's also a good chance they did. I mean, that the guys doing Imps the Relentless still have Peter Cullen doing stuff.
If they got Peter Cullen, I think Optimus was going to win.
if they get Gary Jones, I'd still say Optimus.
I think that's why I never liked the other Transformers series.
You don't like Gary Jones?
Optimus just didn't sound like Optimus.
I'm going to be back in a few
I
minutes.
like Gary Jones.
Okay. Alistair, BRB.
Again, it depends entirely on how the fight plays out. If it goes up into the air, Prime's going to lose. If it stays on the ground, it's much closer, and there's a good chance Prime wins.
Well, we
And
could
if
analyze
Energon's
this.
involved, he's a winner.
Well, if we could analyze this all night long and still find out the results, I feel like we're beating a dead horse.
No, this is just taking it from the viewpoint of geeky people actually just contemplating it versus Death Battle, which, as we know, tends to sometimes make some really weird decisions.
No.
And clearly make judgments that that's not quite right. Like Doom versus Darth Vader. And then they even had to do Superman versus Goku twice. And both times Superman won.
But did they do Ultra Instinct Goku?
No, because that wasn't out yet.
Now they're going to do a third one.
Nope. They straight up said they're not doing any more.
Well, now it's just not accurate.
Well, Ultra Instinct is only done technically once, and currently he said he can't do that anymore. I don't believe it.
Spot the Dragon Ball fan.
That's pretty easy. We're here.
See, when you put it up against there, and if you look at, I honestly think that Goku should win that. I think Goku should win that just as a Saiyan, without anything.
No.
You don't think so?
No. He has to be at least in some kind of powered up form. Just as his normal form, no, not a chance in hell.
One Punch Man versus Superman.
Crazy Quilt.
Superman wins.
Yeah.
Nope. No, I still think Crazy Quilt would win.
No, One Punch Man versus Superman. Superman wins because Superman flies.
Yeah, One Punch Man, yeah, but Crazy Quilt will still win.
Superman could actually be standing in front of him in less than a second later, be standing behind him. So, One Punch Man's not that fast.
He only needs one punch.
He's strong, but he has to land that punch.
Yeah, I got a point.
He has to land punch. Superman would not allow the punch to land.
Presumably.
That's like if you're gonna go. I mean, you could actually put the Flash up against One Punch Man, and the Flash would win that battle.
I don't know. Saitama beats Speed of Sound Sonic.
Sonic's not nearly as fast as the Flash.
The Flash is the speed of light.
He uses the Speed Force. Which just really means he's a druggie.
Yes.
I know in the manga, Saitama can move at the speed of light even when he's not trying. Dun dun dun!
Tell me Quicksilver can beat the Flash.
No, I think even Marvel said not a chance. Not in a straight up race.
He might land a couple of good punches, but
Of course, it depends on what Flash we're talking about, though, too.
honestly, if you're gonna start to, there's like if you're gonna do death battles, like if you were to put Thor against Superman, I would take Thor in that fight.
Magic is involved.
Well, it depends on if you're counting Thor's stuff as magic or science.
Magic.
According to the comic that they did where they crossed over, it was kind of a tie. Because he actually caught the hammer, and Thor was like, "What? How?" And then Superman just basically said, "In this world, we take it up to 11," and punched him, across the planet.
I mean, because Doctor Strange could beat Superman.
Yeah, well, it's magic there.
Yeah.
That's a pure magic thing.
That would be a very short fight, actually.
Even Dr. Fate has beaten Superman.
Technically, the Alan Scott Green Lantern can beat him.
Yeah, but the Alan Scott can be taken out with a pencil.
What?
Original Alan Scott could beat him until they found out that the ring was not magic.
Yeah, they retconned it.
Yeah.
There's far more years of it being magic than there are years of it not being magic.
Oh, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure that Superman would win against a Green Lantern ring, even the non-magic one.
Why? He's punched through the constructs before.
No, he can defeat a Green Lantern.
You got to remember, every time a construct takes a blow, that's like hitting somebody in the brain.
Yeah,
So
it's really draining to them.
Yeah, when you have somebody like Superman or Black Adam or one of these guys like pounding on a construct, like a shield construct, it's a blow to the head every single time.
And it's
The
only
Green
as strong as
Lantern-
your willpower.
The Green Lantern ring can produce kryptonite energy or radiation.
Only if you know the actual...
Chemical makeup.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to do. I think only one Green Lantern has ever successfully done it.
And he couldn't hold it.
Nope. Now, Kyle Rayner, on the other hand, who is the White Lantern, I don't know if he's still the White Lantern or not.
I don't think so.
He could pretty much do whatever the fuck he wanted. Oh, sorry.
Actually, even with the retcon, Alan Scott's ring is still magic because it's powered by the Star Heart, which is mystical.
Oh, he's got a point. I forgot about that. It is powered by the Star Heart.
They did do a death battle of Strange versus Dr. Fate, and Fate won that one.
Fate won that one because he had assistance.
Fate win.
Because it turned out to be Doctor Strange versus Dr. Fate and and Dr. Fate's wife and the thing that gave the god that gave Dr. Fate his powers combining into one thing.
Because that is a power that Dr. Fate can do.
Oh, it was the version of Dr. Fate where he and his wife both are Dr. Fate.
Yeah, that they came out of nowhere. Like,
That's
hey!
such a weird version.
not. It was also a cop out. Like it's like we couldn't find a way for Dr. Fate to win this, so we literally bullshitted it.
Dr. Fate.
It was a published thing. It did happen.
Yes, but you.
And the problem with Strange is also that for writers over the years have never been consistent. It's like there's times where he can't stop the Hulk, and the others are like, just wave my hand, and the Hulk went away.
It goes against a lot of previous things. Like previously on Death Battle, people could not have assistants, and then they started slowly breaking that rule, and then they just started getting very lazy with their research in general.
I don't know, and the Hulk
that isn't really assistance. They're just part of the helmet.
The Hulk.
It wasn't part of the helmet. That was the whole thing. Is that it requires Doctor Strange's wife to be there, although they never showed her.
And it astral plane. Because the way I always took that, it was that basically her spirit was part and out of the helmet.
But even then, it's still basically you've now got this one guy versus this one guy plus his wife and a god.
Oh, and pre-crisis, Hal Jordan could create kryptonite with his ring.
Could Superman break adamantium?
Arguably, yes.
Arguably?
No, supposedly adamantium could possibly injure him because supposedly it's a kryptonite derivative or something.
No.
You would be able to melt it before he broke it.
What about vibranium?
Vibranium would also be something he could break.
I'm just curious because he can melt both of them, and he has heat vision that he could melt the adamantium before it even got to him.
Now, the question would be: would he think to melt it, or would he be Superman and then rush up against Captain America and punch Captain America's shield, and then immediately get smacked in the face with his own punch?
Well, depending on which Superman version we're going with. Superman as of late, whether it be comic books, movies, and or television shows, has been awful quick to unleash the heat vision. whereas he didn't used to be.
Not the current Superman, the actual original Superman. He doesn't been using it nearly as much.
I know. In
The new 52 one was more than willing to throw it around.
Yeah, he threw it around like it was just another weapon. It was like, I mean, it was like, oh, my eyes are glowing. It's it. Everything melts. Yeah, the Superman as of late is more the old Boy Scouty kind of. Yeah, he'd be the guy to run up, punch it, and
or he'd just move faster than than Cap could track, and then go thunk.
Tap on the shoulder from behind and just kind of flick him.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so funny. You can literally lay all the characters out. Like if you had a list of all the characters from both universes and find who matches up so perfectly with the others. Fate and Strange, Superman and Thor. Actually, more Superman and Shazam. Or Thor and Shazam.
That would be a closer matchup.
Yeah.
I think in the end, Superman would probably beat Thor, honestly. But against Shazam,
it's true because he can catch Mjolnir.
He could catch Mjolnir, and he's got heat vision, cold breath. I mean, without Mjolnir, Thor's a bit more limited as a hand-to-hand combatant. Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah,
but
lightning.
Even Chris Hemsworth said no, and even Chris Hemsworth has said that he'd feel Wonder Woman would beat Thor. So let's just face it, Superman would probably win against Thor.
Here's the thing: the daughter of Zeus versus the son of Odin. I think they'd be evenly matched.
The matchup I've always wanted to see is Superman versus Wonder Man.
But Wonder Woman also has the discipline that Thor doesn't.
But Wonder Woman would just trash.
Yeah.
I mean, even Batman's going, I have nothing to stop her.
Exactly.
No, I said Wonder Man, the Marvel character.
Yeah, we skipped that.
I think Wonder Woman is probably the only person that Batman couldn't defeat.
That's because he's got a crush.
No, there is no. You think he said it himself. I have nothing. See this? I have these packages to stop each of you. Open up hers, and Superman does. See, it's empty. I have nothing to stop her. You're pretty much it.
Yeah.
You're my ace in the hole.
He's like, and I'm not so sure that you can stop her.
The Batman's thing is, she has no weaknesses, Clark.
It's like, everybody else has got a weakness.
Theme music.
Yeah, right? He's like, everybody else has got a weakness, you don't.
If they were gonna fight, and there was the three of them, and you heard dun, 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 and Superman lands, and you hear dun, 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 Batman's all like, "What up?" out of the shadows, and then they're like, "So what are we up against?" And you hear bow, 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 bow. They both run.
Nope, I'm out. Her theme song is better. I'm out.
I mean, even if you think about it, in not Batman versus, but in Justice League, a lot of people took it that he beat her, but she headbutted him, or he headbutted her, she headbutted him, and he got up and headbutted her in the ground, and she was immediately back up.
Yep. I mean, even Aquaman got back up. He got thrown and got back up.
That's why I have a lot of hope for Aquaman, because they basically showed him as a badass.
Yes, they showed the superpowered. They showed the dude that can literally crush bullets in his hand. He is that strong. He can crush metal.
I need that Aquaman movie. I need it.
They better show that version of Aquaman.
They better show the badass version, yes.
Aquaman at Aquaman's peak has been able to fight Superman. Simply because of the fact that, he's just so used to existing at such high pressure.
I bet you Aquaman could take Wonder Woman.
Actually did that.
They have.
Justice League, and he lost.
There was, what was it? The movie, the Flashpoint movie?
Yeah.
Where they got into a knockout, drag-out fight.
She won.
Barely.
It's gone both ways, because I think in the Justice League cartoon where they had a duel, He won also barely, and in the Flashpoint movie, he lost barely.
Now I gotta say, I like the idea of maybe like Mara, as long as there is water available for which she would be able to manipulate. All she would have to do is manipulate a ball of water around someone's head. As long as that person breathes oxygen, that person is going to go down. She could drown a person with the own fluids in their body.
Well, that's just starting to get into Katara's territory.
Yeah, she could literally pull all the water from your body and then make it go to your lungs. She's actually a pretty strong character in her own right, and she's now the Queen of Atlantis in the book.
Again.
Well, no, she is the queen. Aquaman is no longer king. She was coronated. She is the ruler of Atlantis. Aquaman is not the ruler of Atlantis. He was cast out.
What?
Oh yeah.
When did that happen?
The past 6 months of books.
Jesus Christ. I need to catch up.
You know what I want an animated movie or set of movies about? Because, in all honesty, the game story is really, really good.
Injustice.
Injustice.
Yep, you and everyone else.
Why did they do another Death of Superman movie? We had one. It was called Doomsday. It came out a decade ago. Yet they did a New 52 version.
Because they gotta beat a dead horse.
I was under the impression that this is not the New 52 version.
They're using this New 52 characters that they've established in the book, in the movies, and
Again,
the new.
I just bought it. I haven't watched it yet, but I do remember seeing the previews for it, and I thought they were saying that this wasn't the run that they did before was not as true to the original story as they would have liked, and so that this was supposed to be closer to it. But maybe that changed between the preview and the actual release.
I don't know.
Well,
I've seen it, and I was like, meh.
Here's my question: is okay. So, yeah, we have. So one thing people really do actually forget is that Superman, The Death of Superman, was one of the highest rated comics in comic history. It sold a lot. And people lost their shit when Superman's dead, and it's like, oh my god,
we are earning that R rating tonight.
Yeah, we are. Sorry, they got the Game of Thrones formula. They killed someone off, and it scared everyone. They thought, oh my god, Superman's dead. There's no way. This shouldn't be happening, blah, blah, blah. I gotta go read the comic and find out what happened. And everyone back in the 90s went out to go buy that comic. I did. I have 5 of them. And it was a fantastic comic. But because, it was one of the most popular events in DC history, they're gonna milk it.
Well, and you got to keep in mind too that at the time that was first time a major character was dying.
Yeah,
Aside
one of
from
the
Robin.
main 3.
Except for what?
Aside from Robin.
Yeah, Jason Todd.
That I think that was probably their experiment. It's like how people react to this.
But that wasn't as popular, but that was pretty like holy crap. Wow.
Yeah, that was, and it was more the holy crap because of the brutality of it.
Exactly.
I mean, the Joker beat him to death almost beat him to death with a crowbar and then blew him up.
Doomsday beat Superman to death with his fist.
Actually,
it's like a crowbar.
I think Superman killed himself in that match. But that's just it. Superman never really died.
No.
The Joker also crippled Batgirl.
I did enjoy the storyline of how he came back, though. That was a very good, well done storyline, I thought. The power struggle storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that one. That was good.
Yeah, I actually, even though I really wasn't a big fan of the character Azrael, I liked when they broke the bat and he had to come back. I think their resolution on that was really good.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid story.
And they knew better than to kill Batman. We'll just hurt him. We can kill Superman, but we can't kill Batman.
We can, it's just people don't think it's very popular.
And they gave us Azrael instead.
Weren't they getting ready to kill Batman in the 60s before Adam West saved his bacon?
Well, they were just going to cancel the book. Actually, all the books back then were doing horrible. Batman. Can't kill me. I'm Batman.
You can't cancel me. I'm Batman.
I'm DC's moneymaker.
I am the Wolverine of DC. Hey, the Fantastic Four is back.
Well, they're getting there. I haven't actually seen the book. But
Who
yes,
gives
it's
a
coming.
Goldern?
They've been playing it up a lot, though, because there's been variant covers like on Thor and the Mighty Avengers.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. It's like, oh, they're coming back. Oh, they're coming back. I have the issue, and to be honest, it was kind of a letdown. Yes, actually, Firefly. I think I did that on purpose, subconsciously, because Darklaw was the best of the amalgam characters, and I'm very upset he only got one book.
Call me when they bring back the new Fantastic Four. Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man, and Ghost Rider.
You can go sit in the corner.
Yep.
Spider-Man, Wolverine.
No,
I'm just upset.
they were legitimately the Fantastic Four at one
Yes, I
point.
know. I'm actually very upset they're bringing Wolvie back.
He looks blue or gray now.
I don't know. I was like, okay, you know what? Leaving him dead, I don't know. It was one of those, yeah, if Wolverine can die, maybe they can kill Deadpool.
Remember, the only thing bigger than Deadpool is Jesus.
Rob Liefeld's ego. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that out loud. Crap. I don't know. I was just like, I would love to see, Superman versus Deadpool and just throw him into the sun. Come back from that. You know, Psylocke's back.
You mean the original Psylocke?
Yes, I'm waiting for the scream of whitewashing to happen. How can you whitewash Psylocke? You are aware that the character was white before, right? It was actually Asian washed, which was in itself a really weird storyline, but that was supposed to be resolved back then, and they never did because the writer left.
So I'm going to just change the subject completely honest.
Go ahead.
So, I know we got Gameprint doing Star Trek ships now.
Yeah.
And just to try it out, I got one of the small 4-inch ships. Specifically, I got a Constitution, original series one.
Yeah.
And it showed up a lot faster than I expected because they were telling me, oh yeah, we'll have it out by, created in October and, shipped maybe the 23rd. And then the day after I got, good news, we've sped up production. It'll be the 22nd of October. I'm like, okay. And then it's like, your ship is on its way. I'm like, what? So apparently their production, at least of the smaller ships, is a lot faster, for one. And it arrived. And it looks good. It looks gorgeous. One complaint, though, and Gameprint sends out a survey to you, for your orders and want to know how they can make improvements and such. And my improvement on this was because they put it in bubble wrap, and then they put that into packing peanuts. between the nacelles, they stuck a wad of bubble wrap in there, and that bends the nacelles out on the back end of it. So it's probably going to need a string or like a fishing line that just lightly pulls them back towards each other, so it straightens them out.
Boiling water.
I don't
Plastic has a memory.
boiling. I don't know if I'd want to boil it in water. It's pretty fragile. They slap that all over the box. Fragile.
Well, that's true because it's not true plastic. It's glued. I know if you have
it's
action
not.
figures, no.
No, it's one piece.
Well, it's still particulates that are put together with a resin. That's how the 3D prints are done.
Sure, kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just heated plastic melted into the form you want.
Yeah.
But point being is that they need to come up with a better method of shipping the small ships. Because if that's what happens with the Constitution, I can imagine it does the same with others, with the narrow pylons. But again, it looks gorgeous. I just kind of wish it was the nice big one that Badger got.
How much was the 4-inch?
With the taxes and the shipping, I think it came out to 27.
I might have to do that. I'll get the USS I made this, a little 4-inch.
Yeah, it really wasn't bad. Though they told Goodwin on the other Discord that they couldn't do the look that he wanted originally, so he picked a different one. He still got his ship, or, well, let me rephrase that. He still ordered the ship, and they proceeded to produce it, and instead of coming from Poland, it came from California. So maybe they've increased their production facilities. And he's watching it like a hawk because there's problems with stuff getting to him there on his island.
Yeah, the owls don't fly the same way all the time. Those carrier pigeons.
It's because he lives in French Canada.
I half expected to suddenly appear and just, shillelagh you. Give you a shellacking.
Hit you with my shillelagh. Well, if you say the 4 inches look good, and I've seen the photos, I have been on Twitter. I have been. A lot of people have sent me thank you for the ships and stuff like that, and I have fans. I was amazed. The last one was last 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, that someone got a Odyssey printed up with a round saucer, and he was more than overjoyed, and he was like, "Thank you so much." When I heard that you originally had ideas for the round saucer, and that's the one I used, I thought it was really great. Blah blah blah. So,
I wonder what size he got.
Oh, you got the big one.
Which is honestly, that's kind of what I'd love to do. But damn, it's pricey.
Yeah.
If what would be nice, and Hero Forge does this. It'd be nice if GamePrint actually offered a digital download so you could try to 3D print it yourself. You may not be printing it as nicely as they do, but it would be nice, for a not nearly as pricey amount.
And you can only access the print off of GamePrint.
Well, yeah.
Downloading it.
Well, what Hero Forge does is that they give you the digital file for a period of time. Like, 6 months or something. And then you download the file. After that, well, the file's yours, obviously, but it doesn't stay available forever. Now, I've got a friend who's been testing 3D printing of some Hero Forge figures, and still hasn't quite worked out the way he was hoping. So we don't know if it's a case that maybe his printer's just not as good as it needs to be, or if he's not doing the right supports, something. They come out okay, but there's some parts of it that's really fragile, so I should order one from Hero Forge just to use as a comparison. But for a tiny little Hero Forge miniature, it's like $35 for that. When I could get another 4-inch Starship from GamePrint
Honestly, the 4-inch is not bad, especially if you want to use it in like a tabletop situation.
Yeah, except it doesn't have a way to put a post in it. It literally has no way to stand it.
You'll find a way.
Well, there's an easy way to do it. You have to cut a hole into it. And for this one, seeing as it's not going to be... I'm not keeping it. I didn't want to do that. Maybe you can get like a cradle or something for it. You know, use something similar to what the... I can't think of the company that does the bigger models for the magazine. Come on, guys, help me out here.
Mm.
Mm.
You know what it is. We've talked about it before on the show. They make the Star Trek ships.
Eagle Moss?
Eagle Moss, thank you. Yeah, some of the Eagle Moss models use a kind of cradle that like holds the saucer instead of the secondary hull. So maybe that's a thing that would have to be done with these. I don't know. For a little 4-inch one, though, yeah, I don't know how you can do it. Maybe if you just very gingerly drill a little hole, pilot hole in, and then plug in with super glue the post from like a Fantasy Flight X-Wing miniature, then you could probably do it. Or a WizKids miniature post. It's the same principle, really. But again, I didn't want to do it with this ship. Maybe the next one I order, I'll try it. But yeah, I could say you should totally get one. Get one, Adam. Oh, hey, look, Goodwin. He got one too.
I heard Badger was talking shit or something.
Oh, hey guys, look at the time. I gotta go.
I warned you he might come here and hit you with his shillelagh.
Actually, I do believe I started it, though. I made mention about the owls and carrier pigeons.
You didn't say the magical words. Badger did.
That's true. There was some magic words used that will always summon a Goodwin.
Was he calling me a French Canadian again?
Yeah, he did.
What?
Goodwin, if it makes you feel any better, I was not involved at all.
I find
For
that hard to
once.
believe.
No,
But it's the
totally
truth.
It's
I
true.
wasn't involved.
It's true. Wolfie was not involved.
No, he was.
Wow.
It was
It was
100%
all
Badger.
Totally throwing you under the bus, Badger.
Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum.
You did say the French Canadian words. Yeah.
I don't recall.
That's okay. We recall just fine for you.
Not to mention when we were recording.
If we're totally recording.
Yes.
All you have to do is go to YouTube and you can see it and hear it.
Are you blushing? Are you bright red? Hiding behind your microphone?
Badgers don't blush.
Coffee don't facts worth a damn.
But yeah, good one. You had gotten one of the miniature game print ships too, didn't you?
Miniatures like the 4-inch one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of them because it took them 5 months to send me the 12-inch one that I ordered.
What was the one that you got?
I don't even know what it is, honestly. I think it's a Vesta, maybe.
No, they're not doing Vestas. Maybe it was that Intrepid.
Yes, the Pathfinder.
Yeah, that one. You had some words about that.
Well, I broke mine. I dropped it on the floor and one of the cells came flying off.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Superglue can fix that.
Gotta try some kind of glue, I just don't know what.
I would recommend Loctite.
Loctite.
Hey, that stuff works great, man. You just got to be careful you don't get that on your skin, because otherwise you're screwed.
Hmm.
But anyway, like I said, they look nice. It's worth for $27. That's not bad option to go with. And
Maybe.
you can clearly read, at least on the Constitution one that I got, you can clearly read the name of the ship on it and the registry.
Yeah, but on the Odysseys, it's so much smaller.
It probably is, considering that it's still only 4 inches.
Yeah. Nobody say it. Badger, I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
Matter of fact, actually, I do have pictures. Let me bring those up. Give me a minute here.
Oh no.
Tank's got pictures of his 4-incher.
Shut up.
CW just released a poster for their special 3-night crossover event in December. It's got a picture of Batman.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not.
They already said it's not going to happen. They're going to acknowledge that he exists, but they're not going to use him.
It's indirectly showing Batman. Hold on.
Did you see? Well, before she canceled her Twitter, what's her name? Ruby, whatever her name is, that got cast as Batwoman. No, it's Batwoman.
The Cantina.
Yeah, Batwoman's coming. That's her symbol.
Yeah, that's Batwoman.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, was it Ruby Rose or whatever her name is?
Yeah.
She canceled her Twitter because people lost their minds. Because now, I don't know if everybody knows who Ruby Rose is. She's
What
an
the
actress.
heck did they do to Flash in that poster?
Anyway, continue, Adam.
Well, she got backlash because Batwoman is lesbian in the comic books, and they were freaking out. They're saying Ruby Rose wasn't gay enough to play the character.
What?
And she laughed, and she was like, "What kind of idiotic bigotry is it where they say that I'm not gay enough to play?" She's like, she's been out since she was like 12 years old.
I didn't know that there was levels on that.
Exactly. And it was like, what? And had they? I don't. It's like people are losing their minds because I guess they're like the big thing that was going around when I saw it was Ruby Rose isn't gay enough to play Batwoman, but and then they cast, I guess, in some other thing. What movie that Disney had? Oh, Jungle Cruise. They cast a straight actor to play a gay character. And the people are losing their minds over that, and I was like, well, what about the gay actors they cast to play straight characters? Like everything that Patrick Harris has done. I mean, he played, not only did he play a heterosexual character, he played a womanizing heterosexual character for like 8
He played
years.
the biggest womanizing heterosexual character on TV this decade.
He was like the actual real life Quagmire.
Yeah.
But people didn't say anything about that. But Ruby Rose having to cancel her Twitter because people were losing their minds that she was cast as Batwoman on the CW's Arrowverse stuff because she wasn't gay enough. I still think that was hilarious.
I still want to know what the hell is up with Flash's head in that picture.
They changed his costume.
He
It walked
looks
closer
like
to
he
the
has
top.
water on his brain.
Yes, the helmet does look a little off.
Also, remember that's a promotional poster. That's not actual. Probably not.
But he's got the gloves. He's got the belt.
That
The only one-
helmet
the
is
only one-
awful.
The only one who hasn't really changed costume drastically has been Supergirl.
What's really funny is that's an old picture from Arrow. Because he will have the goatee, the full goatee in this season.
Awesome.
I don't know. I just know that helmet is terrible, or at least the way it's drawn on in that picture.
I got, to be honest, I lost track of Arrow because I got tired of the same villain being brought into the following season.
Are
It's
you
like,
okay?
come on.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
That's the drinking game. You'd be drunk before the end of a show. Are you
Anyway.
okay?
Anyway, I uploaded the pictures of the.
I'm looking at it.
I didn't have a perfectly not shaky hand when I took the pictures of it, but still, I mean, you can take a pretty good guess.
It looks really good. And that's not painted, right? That's printed in color?
That's printed as is.
That's pretty sweet.
You can't feel any stepping on it. You can kind of see it by the nature of how they did it, but you definitely can't feel it, and you can't see it as nearly as clearly as that other company was going to do.
Does it come with a stand?
No, I covered that already. There's no stand. Do you see a spot where you can put a stand in it? You literally have to cut a hole into it to do a stand like what Fantasy Flight does, or you get some kind of cradle deal.
Really? The Serenity?
Yes. The ship's not for me. But I wanted to start with something that was a relatively simple ship, and a Constitution is.
Maybe I'll get my Defiant class done.
Ooh, that would work pretty good.
The Tritanium Falcon.
Well,
You and your ship names.
I've got a 12-inch Defiant class on the way to me right now.
I bet you that's going to look awesome just because the Defiant being the smaller ship, that when they bring it up to that scale, things are going to look great on that.
That's what I'm hoping. I've been waiting since April for this thing, so yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it now.
Didn't they say that they couldn't do the shield look that you wanted?
I'll try and find the email here. Hang on.
Did you get the hand-painted one?
Yeah.
Can I share those on the stream?
Go ahead. Because it gives you an idea. Although you can tell in that first image that I had to hold in the cells to make them look straight. And I did mention to them in my feedback, like, use a different kind of packing material because that bends it. That's why I was thinking of suggesting to the person who gets the ship that they need to take like some fishing line and just very gently tie them together, and eventually the plastic should straighten itself out. Because plastic will do that.
Well, I gotta go, so I'm signing off.
We're probably going to call it here pretty soon anyway.
I gotta go right now. So,
Okay.
have a good night, boys.
Good night.
And French Canadians.
He said it just because he was running away.
Yeah, and I don't know why you keep saying it. There's no French Canadians there.
It's just because your island happens to be in the province.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's just
yeah.
a Quebecois.
Oh, see, now he started it. I'm not vouching for him this time.
Is it me or did the cells hang a little low in the back? Or is it just because they're spread?
Do your
think it's
nacelles
just
hang
because-
low? Do they wobble to and fro?
It's just
Bro.
because of the way it was packed.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with the any model you get of the Constitution class, because the nacelles are so back heavy, they always seem to hang lower in the back.
So, on the 8th of this month, I got an email saying that, but I just put in general there.
Can I read that out loud?
Sure.
Okay, the email says, we strive to make sure every order is perfected and done with the highest quality possible, but due to the complexity of your design, it is almost impossible to get the quality we want using only hand painting. For that, we are offering you the ability to switch to a better approach which merges between the best of both 3D printing and hand painting. The approach uses a new type of inkjet 3D printers that will lay down the base colors, 10 million colors, and a master artist will detail out the model into its best form. If you approve this switch, we will be more than happy to start processing your order. Otherwise, we are happy to offer you a full refund, as unfortunately the model cannot be done fully hand-painted. I would have said yes, do both.
I did tell them both, and I got a email with a tracking number 2 days ago. So from the 8th until the 21st, and
So what do
then
they
they
do?
finished
Like-
it doing that.
They have to put it in like a bottle and then toss it in the water and hope it gets to you.
Ha ha ha.
Sorry. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to live in an island in the middle of nowhere.
He's mentioned some of the drawbacks, such as the fact that he can't just see the latest films
True.
until, I don't know, 3 months later. But yeah, good one. This was complexity on the design. I had to. What shield did you pick on it the first time?
Honestly, I didn't think it was that complex. Just normal fleet shield, so there's not really much of a thing. And veteran hull, like it's just basically right with
that's it. Yeah, I could totally see why they'd have trouble with that, because the veteran hull has got that nice little blue edging going on and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hand painting that would be a royal pain. So yeah, I don't blame them for that at all. Makes 100% perfect sense now that you explained that.
Okay.
I mean, I could see it if they used a very light or very bright blue wash to get into all the cracks and crevices that appears in the veteran skins. Except that you could get that into other things that you don't want, and because it's a wash, it may not be bright enough, especially when you then go paint it over the other spots. So yeah, it could have been doable, but I don't think it would have looked as good.
Apparently so, because even they weren't happy with it. So,
I mean, I'd be willing to try, but not with with a nearly $600 model.
yeah, 350 plus another 50 for shipping, and convert that all to Canadian dollars. It was pretty expensive, to be honest. Yeah.
And that's before they raised the price to the quote-unquote normal price.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, did you be able to use inkjet to apply colors? That's kind of impressive. I wouldn't have expected they could do that with a 3D printer. They must got some fancy toys. I want.
But we should probably wrap this, boys. It's after 11.
Hold on, Firefly. Vaguely related, psychoactive agents are specifically prescribed for neutralizing Sailor Saturn. That's out of right field. Although I think you're referring to previous comments about what people are smoking. So you're talking about hitting an anime character with LSD. That sounds like a terrible idea, Firefly, and you're a horrible person. Carry on. I like the cut of his jib.
Okay. Last call.
I got one.
Anybody else?
Oh, Gen Con was apparently a rousing success. And a friend of mine brought back some additional turbo laser turrets for me. So, yay.
Cool. My last call would be Netflix has a Robert the Bruce movie coming out starring Chris Pine. Kind of like Braveheart 2.
Did we talk about Voltron?
No, we did not.
Have you watched it?
I have not watched it yet.
Okay, get on that
I will do that.
because it's fantastic.
All right. Well, if nobody else has anything, we'll be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. All that kind of good stuff. Thanks for listening, Firefly, as always. It's been a pleasure having you around.
And to our one watcher on YouTube, carry on.
Yeah. Carry on. Thank you very much. What was that? They're there every week whenever it's up. It goes on, and within 3 or 4 minutes, we get a viewer. So whoever you are, thank you very much.
I did tell some additional folks about the show tonight, and I don't know if they showed up to listen or not, but if they did, yay!
And if you're watching this, because I know people do watch our stuff afterwards, and they catch it on the flip side when on YouTube's. We do get views on YouTube's. Be sure if you're on the Twitter on the twits. If you're on Twitter, follow us at the Geek EZ, and on Facebook we are also facebook.com/the Geek EZ, and that's our page there. And we don't have a website yet because that's still just sitting there waiting for me to finish it. Because Lord knows I never get anything done. I start thousands of things and never finish anything. But we'll be back next week. So say goodnight, boys.
Later.
Good night, boys.
Find the button I have to push. We're out.